It's Week 17 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Eagles and the Commanders, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at the Eagles. The bottom line, there are not many defenses in the league that seem up to the task to slow down their ground game. But this might be one of them, and in everything that they have said and done this week, they feel confident that they're ready.
And I like how you set this whole thing up, because it comes down to this to me. These first few carries, they're going to be exciting, they're going to be physical, they're going to be battles. Each side trying to establish control in this game.
Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Come on. Hey.
Hurts throwing right away. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Hurts. And right away, he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1 yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Robinson is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2 yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fields it right around the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Check.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener, and it was the Eagles who got the win on the road, so now they look to finish off the sweep here in Philly. Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. Playoff picture here, and you see they've got that number 2 spot right now. Obviously a lot to like about that and where they're at in this home stretch of the season, but that first round home game is not guaranteed, Charles, until they lock up their division.
Bottom line, win the division, stay number 2, you get a favorable game at home to begin what you hope will be a nice postseason run.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort in search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Back to throw. Howell. Got him, man. It's De'Ami Brown, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
They go play action with Howell. Rolling to his left. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football back at their own 17.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They start on the ground here at Sanders, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they're looking at a second down and 9 to go.
Here we go, check.
Throwing is Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll look to throw here. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Montez Sweat coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, he rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Now a a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be caught by Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. They'll look to throw again. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Sly on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick six. And on the catch right side, and now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And the return will stop right around the 25. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, check that.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. This is complete to Watkins on a slant. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about 1 yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Hurts gets this to Sanders. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. On 1st down, Hurts. That is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. One last shot before the break. Howell. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes the score 28-0.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin out west at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And it's the Niners who have the lead in that one. The Niners trying to finish that one off and claim victory. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris. 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Dak Prescott, another strong performance as his guys claim victory number 13 on the year. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And there were a few factors as to why they built this good-size advantage, but the rushing numbers were not all that amazing. We'll see if they can pick it up in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
On 2nd and 12, Howell. And he rifles one incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over, and they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Again, that's Watkins. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete here.
If there's another stop, one of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the man open here is Strong. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
Now throwing on 1st down here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Now he'll look to throw it. Strong grabs it over the middle. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down. Here's Howell. He completes it to Wilson. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It sort of goes without saying that's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside? Or are you just keeping it yourself? Are you pitching it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that's complete to Sanders. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. This offense so far on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Escaping the pressure right. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Trying to lay one up deep. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. They'll run again here with Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes this 35-0 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw right side, caught by Goedert, the tight end. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops from one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to let it fly. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is brought in at the 21. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And some room to roam now. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come run up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Howell's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. On 2nd and very short. Howell. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Just a formality now, but here's the extra point. And the kick is good, but obviously it won't matter, as they're going to go down in defeat here. This one's over. Side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah. It's silly. It's silly.
It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that people have explained before, well, you got to play it all the way through. Come on, this thing was done.
So for the Commanders, they run their record to 13-3 now on the year.